All right, it is 7:05 p.m. We'll call this meeting to order.
Commissioner Ali,
Present.
Commissioner Daniel, Commissioner Dillard,
Here.
Commissioner Gathua,
Here.
Commissioner Johnson,
Here.
Commissioner Harris,
Here.
Commissioner Nobis, and Commissioner Traore.
Yes.
Next is the land acknowledgement. We meet today in the community of Iowa City, which now occupies the homelands of Native American nations to whom we owe our commitment and dedication. The area of Iowa City was within the homelands of the Iowa, Meskwaki, and Sauk. And because history is complex and time goes far back beyond memory, we also acknowledge the ancient connections of many other indigenous peoples here. The history of broken treaties and forced removal that dispossessed indigenous peoples of their homelands was and is an act of colonization and genocide that we cannot erase. We implore the Iowa City community to commit to understanding and addressing these injustices as we work toward equity, restoration, and reparations. Next is the approval of meeting minutes from May 5th. I know that not all of us have gotten a chance to look over them. I would put a motion to approve.
A seconded.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the meeting minutes for May 5th. Commissioner Ali,
Yes.
Commissioner Dillard,
Yes.
Commissioner Gathua,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
and Commissioner Traore.
Yes.
Passes 6-0. Thank you.
Next on the agenda is public comments about items that aren't on the agenda. If there is anyone in the Zoom that would like to make a public comment, now would be the time to raise your hand. All right. Is there anyone in here that would like to make a public comment? Okay. So the fifth agenda item is the discussion on the facilitator's proposal. And just to kind of quickly talk about this, I know that there has been a lot of changes going on, and I think that the best way to move forward would be to set up a work session where, somewhere outside, COVID safe, where we can have an open dialogue and just like talk about expectations and just go over questions that we might have. I think that that might be the best way to go about things. So if that's okay with you guys, I'd like to send you all a doodle poll and then find out when you're available. It would ideally, I'd like to meet next week sometime. But yeah. And then the other thing would be, because of all of the changes, I know that the 3 local entities have kind of put a pause on it. And so I had talked to Stephanie about this earlier, about making a motion to kind of, if you want to jump in and tell me what the motion, how the motion would be, in regards to making that vote at the next meeting.
Just the process. So,
Yeah.
So you can vote this evening on whether at your next meeting on June 2nd, you want to reconsider the recommendation made at your May 5th meeting. The motion to reconsider must come from one of the 6 who voted in favor, and then anyone can second it. And if a majority of you vote yes, then the actual item to reconsider the recommendation to City Council then would be on your June 2nd meeting date.
Do you guys understand that? So I would like to make a motion to add that to the next agenda item, a vote on reconsidering the recommendation to council.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Commissioner Ali,
Yes.
Commissioner Dillard,
Yes.
Commissioner Gathua,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Nobis,
Yes.
and Commissioner Traore.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Okay, perfect. And then for the last agenda item, we have announcements of commissioners or staff. Steph, do you have any announcements? So I'm going to make a quick announcement. Oh, Eric?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I got a couple.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a few announcements. One of the first things that I want to announce is that I just want to say that in the South District, the diversity market is going to start on May 28th, I believe. So spread the word, and that's my announcement as far as that goes. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be exciting. Another announcement that I do have to make is that I want to make a public apology to the public for my actions at the last meeting. I'm not going to go into what caused my actions because that's something that we discussed internally. But I will say that, I didn't like my behavior and the way that I acted because I was in process of something that was going on. I didn't like it, but that's not appropriate for the way that I behaved. I should not behave in the way that I did. I knew that it was a public meeting, so I wanted to exit myself out of the meeting before it got too much more immersive, discharged. So to the whole Iowa City and the whole Johnson County, I wanted to continue to do my job and my duty that I'm charged to do. And I just want to apologize to the public for my actions at the last TRC meeting. And with that, I yield.
I'm going to make an announcement next, and I apologize, I wasn't aware that Commissioner Harris was going to make an announcement about the diversity market.
I'm sorry.
But, so the flyer is in our packet. So Tasha Lard, Angie Jordan, and Marlene Mendoza are organizing again. This is the second year, and it's exciting because this year it's doubled in size and duration, from 30 vendors to 60. And the location is intentionally in the heart of the new South District SMID. And they're also doing a piloting, like a rent-to-own program for small businesses to own their own generators and event tents. They're still looking for entertainers. So if that's something that you are interested in, or if you know someone that might be good for this, they want you to email diversitymarkets.sd@gmail.com. There's free face painting like last year, and you have to check on social media to learn the times for free face painting. And there is a wait list already for next year's vendors. So that same email would be a good email if you are thinking of wanting to be a vendor as well. There's over 20 sponsors, and that's a big piece about it, which is really cool. That's happening in the South District, and I think that it's really awesome that so many places are sponsoring the diversity market. So that's it for the announcements that I have to make.
I appreciate that comment, Emil.
Anyone else?
Before you adjourn, I just want to confirm that usually at work sessions, there's not public comment.
Yes.
Is that how you're wanting to proceed as a group, to not have public comment and just have a conversation and discussions amongst commissioners? If that's the case, that's fine. I just need to make sure that it's noted on the agenda that no public comment will be taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe take a vote on it, just.
Yeah.
So This is clarified. So we're gonna have, I think, but no public comment is gonna be allowed.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, if nobody else,
Just want to clarify, just for the record, the assumption of that being that in the next TRC meeting we'd have open public comment on, work session topics, or at least allow the public to speak on what was reviewed at the work session.
Yeah, that was kind of my question. So thank you.
Okay.
And I also want to clarify then that the work session would be on the current proposal that is in front of you.
yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
just the question is, what is the reasoning for wanting to do work session versus regular session?
It's just a little bit, I would say it's a lot more natural to like have dialogue when it's not so pressured in this like kind of setting. Council does it a lot. They actually had like an 8-hour long work session yesterday. And so I think that's something that we haven't tried before, that I think it would be worthwhile trying, just so that we can all make sure we're on the same page about everything and having really important dialogue about this specific proposal, and making sure that everyone's questions are going to be addressed.
And a work session
So-
does not have to be here, but it still has to be, the public still has to be allowed to come to it, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. If so, are you saying that we can discuss, all the issues and things we might want to talk about, or things we need to discuss without public comment that would make less pressure? I kind of agree with that. So if that's what you're saying, I mean, that's what I would definitely be up for that. So.
All right, anyone else have any comments? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay. Do you want me to take roll call? Commissioner Ali,
Yes.
Commissioner Dillard,
Yes.
Commissioner Gathua,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Affirmative.
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Commissioner Nobis,
Yes.
and Commissioner Traore.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.